Welcome to Better Bachelor. This is Joker with a face for radio and a voice for print. You know, I wanted to title this tonight, Where Did All the Good Girls Go? And I don't know what happened, but somewhere in between the lines of the player guys going out, getting all the action, getting lucky and having a good time, and then the other, I don't know which percentage you want to put on it, 80, 90% of guys that are just like, I just want a good girl. Those guys don't seem to exist anymore. It seems to be, super popular guy, and then it's like simps and guys that are on OnlyFans and super thirsty, and the middle ground's just kind of evaporated. They either they're not out, they're in public, they're not talking anymore. You just don't hear much about them. And I was surfing on 9gag tonight. Some nights I didn't know if I was going to do a second video for today. I did a couple over on the new channel, and I was just kind of like, I don't really have any super great ideas for something tonight. And then I came across one of my viewers here from Mexico, actually, sent me a link, and I read it, and it was a really nice story written by a woman speaking to other women, saying, hey, let's be realistic here. Let's be a little bit more in the realm of reality when it comes to dating. I said, that's kind of an interesting story. And I said, maybe I'll do something on that tomorrow. And then I was on 9gag, and I came across the post someone had put, and they just said, why can't we find girls like this, or something along those lines? And I looked, and I'm going to play this video for you. And this was, you would not believe, there were so many replies to this, so many responses. And I don't remember if it was in Awesome or Girls or whatever, but you would not believe the number of replies with men saying, see, now that's the kind of girl that I find attractive, or that's girlfriend material. Not the OnlyFans stuff, not the sexy bikini girls. It's this. Take a look at this video. Let me hit record. That helps. I want you to watch this young lady. Now, she's playing the accordion, which makes me think of France. When I was in France, you would go to different blocks, and I think they had some in other countries as well, but I do remember thinking that the Parisian setting and seeing somebody play an accordion, and it's very old movies. It's kind of what you think of when you see things in Paris. Look at this young lady playing, but watch her smile. Watch her kind of look at the camera, and don't tell me if this isn't somebody you'd say, where do girls like this, where are they nowadays? Now tell me that's not an infectious smile. Her smile reaches her eyes. You can tell she's playing it up for the camera a little bit, sure, but she's talented. She's not so proud to put in contacts when she's wearing glasses. She's not wearing anything that's over super sexualized. She's just kind of the girl next door. And I realized, I was thinking about this today, I haven't seen a girl next door in forever. Especially not online, especially not when girls are on dating profiles or something like that. They've always got something low cut, or they've got their high expectations. What happened to the girl next door? Well, the article I'm going to read tonight is by this woman. Now, I had to blow up, you'll see on the article, she had a little tiny picture, and I always try to click it or find their Instagram just so I can see what they look like, because blue hair and weight or whatever all kind of tells you what kind of person you're going to get. And you look at this picture and you go, there's the girl next door, a very pretty, a very attractive girl next door, but not going crazy, kind of a wholesome, clean look. And you say, oh, okay. And then this was after I read the article. So let me read this article and see what you guys think. So she's the writer of this. And she says, why we need to stop obsessing over finding the love we deserve. If you guys have joined me in the past, I've talked a lot about the Snowflake Generation, the millennials. And not all millennials are like this. And I don't mean to say that millennials are, but not all of them. But this is the generation where it was you get a participation award for showing up and don't run up the score and everyone's a winner. And I think competition is healthy. But the other thing is that parents, it's the snowplow generation. They moved all the obstacles out of the kids' way, and so life is easy. And they think they're told they deserve the best. They should only have the best of all things. And so women kind of get, and guys can too, but more so I notice this, that women believe they need the best guy. And we've talked about this before where a young lady that's average looking can short-term date, be casual, and have a fling with a guy that's more attractive and more popular, more whatever, because he gets access to, some bedroom fun. But she thinks that she can get a boyfriend that's of that quality. Not saying she can't, but again, statistics don't show that way. So let's read through this, and you'll see kind of what I'm getting on here tonight. It says why we need to stop obsessing over finding the love we deserve. Internet culture has developed a ravenous obsession with finding the love that we deserve. You can spot the phenomenon everywhere. Articles list 10 signs you deserve better than the guy you're dating, and online commenters urge one another to hold out for the person who is worthy and meriting of their affection. And here's the thing. I get the desire to be appreciated. There's nothing worse than finding oneself in a one-sided relationship where you're constantly giving and rarely receiving anything in return. There's nothing admirable about staying with someone who treats you like a human doormat. Unfortunately, many men are finding themselves in this position, or the woman leaves for somebody that she thinks is better, or she cheats or something like that. Happens to the girls too, but more often it's the women that continue to search on for something else. And yet I can't help believing that the phenomenon of demanding what we deserve has gotten a wee bit out of hand. We've moved beyond the realm of stand up for yourself when it comes to relationships, and we've moved into the realm of see yourself as a prize to be won rather than an active participant in your own relationship. She says, because there's only one real truth about the kind of love you deserve. It's whatever kind of love you're prepared to give out yourself. If you want someone who will text you immediately after a date, initiate hangouts, reach for the check every time, and offer you a drawing of things at their place, you better be ready to do the exact same. If you want someone who pursues you relentlessly, showers you with compliments, likes every Instagram photo you post, and brags about you to his friends or her friends, you better be braced to make the first move yourself. You better be genuinely, hopelessly excited to make the person you're dating feel special. And it can't come from a place of give in order to receive. You know which place I'm talking about. The place of, I'll like his posts, so he'll like mine. The place of, I'll tell her she looks great so that she notices the next time I do something different. It has to come from a place of genuine appreciation for who the other person is. The same kind of appreciation that you want from someone else. This is, this is key to a lot of guys, I think. And I fell into this trap. A lot of guys fall into this trap where when you like somebody, you drop your own expectations and what you want in a relationship because it'll make her happy, thinking that it'll make her appreciate you more or like you more. But again, the guys that are the jerks get the girls. We've said that many times, and in many cases, it's not exactly true, but what it does say is that when a guy stands up for his own convictions, when a guy says, these are my boundaries, this is what bothers me when you break these boundaries, and these are my kind of what rules you need to have to date me. When he holds on to those and he doesn't break them and he holds fast to them, and if she breaks them, she's out, women respect that. It doesn't mean necessarily that they'll stay with you. It doesn't necessarily mean that they will date you, but they will at least respect you. And too many times, I think, especially if coming from a guy's standpoint, that we give too much, and when we don't get something back in return, we kind of close the gap instead of taking a step back ourselves and saying, am I getting what I deserve out of this relationship, or am I being treated unfairly? The sooner a guy realizes he's being treated unfairly, he can back off and reassess the situation and make the right decision instead of getting too deep into a relationship where he gets hurt. It's happened to all of us. We were so kind. I did so much for her. I was right there for her, and she ended up leaving or cheating or not appreciating or breaking up with me or whatever. It's because we didn't hold to our own standards. So what she's saying here is it should be a balance. And if it's not a balance, you don't make up the difference. At least that's what I'm saying. You don't make up the difference. So she says, here is the problem with the wait for what you deserve obsession. It implies that the main purpose of love is to receive praise, attention, adoration, and acceptance from another human being. And this is entirely backwards mindset. The point of love, real, genuine love, should be to give, to appreciate another human being for much more than the attention that they pay you. The point is to learn from them, to grow from them, to let them know that you're ridiculously excited to be their person. You know, the one who gets to text them when they're sad and compliment them when they're insecure and take their pants off when they're looking particularly saucy or cute. I think that's kind of an important point to make, is every relationship that I've been in, and when I've been close to somebody, it's every time, at least when I'm close to someone, they are my friend. They are someone that I like spending time with. They make me laugh. I make them laugh. And we kind of seem to be a solid relationship to me seems to be a relationship in which you're friends, and also there's you're turned on component and you want to be close to each other. And unfortunately, I think a lot of times the second latter part goes away, that attraction phase, but you keep the friendship part of it. And that's where things kind of fizzle out, and either he gets bored or she gets bored and they go away. Again, I think that's due to letting your standards slip. The people that I've kept the highest standards with, that I've dated and said, this is who I am, and if you don't like it, we're done. There's just not going to work out between us. And I didn't budge from that because I had my standards and I had my rules. Those turned out to be where the relationship at least stayed the most viable. The fooling around and having the fun and the bedroom part of it stayed active. Her attraction to me stayed active, and the fun that we had stayed active. The difference was I kind of never could let my guard down. I could never just ease into it. I always had to keep, ready to keep up a wall a little bit to kind of keep things interesting and exciting. It can be really tiring. So in many cases, that's one of the reasons why I stopped dating, is just because it's very energy. It can be a big draw, at least nowadays with dating. Now, a long time ago, when I'm going back 10, 15, 20 years ago, it was much easier. You could find somebody, you could relax, you could be yourself, because there wasn't always that internet and the phone and other options 4 miles down the road on Tinder. It was much more difficult to kind of exchange partners, where now you can shop online and find somebody different. So it seems today it's much more stressful to try to keep that excitement and energy going, and you can never seem to relax. She continues on, the point of entertaining a relationship isn't to have someone who will worship the ground you walk on. It's to find someone who you think is the MFer cat's pajamas, and then to love on them with absolutely everything you have in you. Now, this is for women, not men, because men, you can't love unconditionally like that. She will walk all over you. You have to keep 90% of it back and give just a little bit out. And again, not to be mean, but to make her not feel that you've fallen all over yourself for her, because then she'll feel that you don't have a high enough standard. Women want men with higher standards, but that's for another video. I don't want to go down all that path. We could be here an hour. If love is an ongoing process of meeting one another's needs, and if your primary concern is whether your needs are being met, you're probably looking for a relationship for all the wrong reasons. And I think that's why a lot of relationships are failing, because everybody's selfish right now. At the end of the day, there's a simple rule for finding the relationship you want, and it's this: if you have to first be kind of partner you're looking to find, the one who texts first, the one who doesn't play games, the one who shows the hell up for another person, even when they're being a little bit unreasonable or difficult. Because the only kind of love any of us deserve is the kind of love we're openly and freely giving out. And if you aren't ready to be the one who loves a little bit harder, don't expect to find someone who's willing to do the same, because quite frankly, the person comes along, you might not deserve them. And I think that's where relationships right now are really at a disconnect, is that it seems many women are thinking that they deserve better than they can get. That because a 6 got to fool around with a guy that's an 8, well, then she gets to have an 8 forever. That he'll marry her, and so on and so forth. It doesn't work like that. And some of us guys have been out to the clubs or whatever, not recently, but when I was younger, and for a while I dated a girl that was a model. She was like 5'10", and in her heels she was 6'2". And I had hot hair at the time. I don't even think I could grow 3 whiskers on my face. But we hung out, and everybody looked at her and said, why is she with a guy like that? So I definitely was dating up as far as looks in that case. But the whole point is that I know that wasn't realistic. I knew that wasn't going to last. It was a bit of fun, but there's no way that she could probably go. I think she went off and married a doctor, quite honestly. But what's the lesson out of this? What's this all boiled down to? I think the important thing is here is that right now dating seems to be dead because expectations are not being met anywhere. Is that the average guy that looks at a girl wants the girl next door. He wants somebody that's sweet, somebody that's kind, somebody that's funny, somebody that appreciates them for who they are, like that accordion player. I don't know anything about her, but the image that she brings forth is just kind of, it's wholesome. She's sweet. Obviously, she's talented, more talented than twerking on a wall. And we just miss those girls next door. And I think women, when they realize that the guys that will love the girl next door, the guys that want to be with the girls next door, that will be faithful to them, that will be kind to them, that will be realistic to them, and understand that maybe the guy's not going to be, there's only, like, I think 10 or 12% of the population is 6 feet tall. That's a very, very minor, that's a very, very minor populace. And so when a woman will adjust and understand that it's not about his looks, it's all about his looks. It's not all about the six-pack, because no guy's out there saying, well, she's got to at least be, a 32C with a 24-inch waist and a 36-inch hips, and we don't do that. We look at a girl that's like this accordion girl and say, you know what, she's kind of cute. I'd hang out with a girl like that. I'd get to know a girl like that. And they don't exist anymore, because the girl like that is just not interested in a guy like that. And I think until that comes together, I think dating's really going to have a problem. So our takeaway, guys, is number one, look for the girls next door. If you're going to date, look for the girls next door. They may be 1 in 100 right now. I don't know. But you're going to have to, that's going to be the only girl that you've got a shot with. And number two, if you're one of the women that watch this, one of the few thousand women that watch this, be the girl next door. Don't try to impress anybody. Don't try to go out and think that you're deserving money or anything else. Just be a good person. Be a good person to the person that's in your life and willing to give up their life and their time for you. Until any of that happens, I think dating doesn't have a chance. And the way it stands right now, I think the statistics are against us, but you never know. Maybe you guys can meet your accordion girl appropriately. Guys, if you'd like to support my work, check out my other channel, Odd Man Out. Don't forget, I've got links down below if you want to directly support me. And for those of you that have, I appreciate it so much. And the best thing you can do to help me is like, comment, share, and subscribe. Guys, I'll leave it there. This is Better Bachelor. I'm Joker. And remember, everybody watching this, we all just deserve an accordion girl. We don't need anything too special. We don't need anything too freaky. Just be the nice girl next door, and you can make a lot of guys happy if you're reasonable about it.